All right, so it's ready for the weekly update on the garden. July 2022. It's July 3rd. So let's just get right into it. Everything's looking pretty good. Look at that butterfly bush. So we had last week 3 days that were about 100 degrees, and so everything really kind of took off. And then we're back to our sort of normal cool weather. It's a little cooler than usual, but after the 4th of July is when we really start to get some heat here in Oregon. So we got some new growth. Everything's looking pretty healthy. And there's some little, my hand is dirty, sorry. Some little peppers starting to form. Now we're late in the growing season. Since these plants are so little, I would normally pick those off. That way there would be more attention given to the plant. But I don't have time. If I'm going to get anything at all, I just need to let it go. And then the pesky squirrels, they just come and they dig everything up. So they've ripped my tag out. I'm going to have to fix that. And my row of jalapenos here, looking pretty good, pushing some new growth. And here's my 6 just good old standard green jalapenos. And when I was watering, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's see, where is it? No, wrong plant. Here it is, right here. Look at that. So like I said, normally I would pick that off so the plant has more of a chance to put its energy into growing tall. But I'm just gonna let it go because I don't have a lot of time here. All right, and then the celery is still here. The squirrels come. I have a lot of squirrels because I've got all those pine trees, and they're pretty aggressive, so they knock leaves off looking for their peanuts. But, you know, it's still here considering I've got those rabbits. And the onions, I need to give them some water. Can you hear the baby crow? It's upset about something. The butterfly bush is doing all right. Something must come in the night and do a lot of prowling around because that branch there, it's really struggling. I might come and cut all that back just so there's some more airflow on the underneath. And then if I cut it, let's see if I can do this. If I was to cut it back to here, then it wouldn't have so much weight, and I would think that it could stand itself back up. But so I've been seeing the butterflies, and I have a little snippet I'll share with you, but look at how pretty that is. And I wish you guys could smell this. It's so fragrant. It smells so sweet. And when the sun is shining, oh my goodness, the air just smells heavenly. So the zucchini and squash are looking pretty good. Let me see, get in here and see if there's anything going on. Yep, looks like a flower is about to form right there. But it's healthy, it's doing good, nice leaves. Now, zucchini and squash are very susceptible to powdery mildew, but this is not. This is just, I don't know what this is exactly, but it's just what the leaves do. Sometimes I confuse it for powder mildew, but the way to avoid getting the powdery mildew is you don't want to spray the leaves when you water, especially in the evening. If the sun isn't going to be able to dry the leaves, make sure you only feed the roots. And look at all those beautiful blooms. Each one of those potentially is going to be fruit. Is that, oh, no, that's just a flower. No, actually that's, there it is right there. Tiny little baby yellow squash. Very exciting. I really find zucchini plants and pumpkins to be gorgeous because of those gigantic blooms. Oh, that crow is just so upset. He wants its mommy and daddy to come back right now. Now this little squash, I'm going to give it another week. It's the weakest out of the bunch. And I'm not sure if it's just supposed to be like a patio version where it doesn't get very big. It's trying though. It's getting a lot of new, healthy growth. You know, but in comparison to the others, it's just so small and it's taking up a huge chunk of prime real estate in the garden. And so I'd rather transplant that into like a pot or another area of the garden and give like this huge area to something that's, you know, going to grow big and produce a lot of food. Look at this one opening up. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. The hummingbirds have been buzzing around, checking everything out. This poor plant, this is the one that takes the brunt of everything. Weed whackers and wheelbarrows, and you know, when we're coming through here, for some reason everybody seems to knock off a branch, but it's doing really well. This one, let's see, and that one are the same, and you can really see the difference. I wish people would stop ripping branches off my... But this is the one we took the clones off of. So if they should take root, that is what they're going to look like. This beautiful color. All right, now the snap peas. They're doing all right. They survived the 100-degree weather. The bottom doesn't look very well, but the top is now starting to get really healthy, and they've attached themselves and they're looking good. I still need to get another cucumber, but it's growing, pushing out a lot of new growth. We got some blooms, so we'll see. And there's the Roma. So I got some mulch bark. Well, I think it's more like compost. It's like a compost type mulch. And while we were putting that down, this branch broke. And it's trying to heal itself. I may come in and remove it. The Sweet 100. Looks like I need to come out here and stake it up. The cherry definitely needs me to come out here and stake it up. And then that's that golden pear tomato, and it's looking good. Look at all its growth. I mean, everything's gotten so much bigger just in this last week. And there's the big beef. It's doubled in size. Oh, spider web. Gotta walk through it. Okay. There's my little transplant of the butterfly bush. I predict that it'll get twice the size this season. All right, now we've got the scarlet runner beans, and they've attached finally. And then remember I was saying about my green beans, I planted them, but I wasn't seeing anything come up just last week. And then that heat, look, we've got a whole row. That little set right there, they got buried underneath the compost or the mulch, whichever this is. And so I had to dig them out, and they're struggling. But I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get real close here. I wonder if I can zoom in without having to bend down. Let's see. I think it'll be easier if I bend down. Something has come along and chewed off my leaves. And can we just guess who that might be that's done that? On every single one of them. Look at that. Just took them right off. That's the growing tip right there. So if they leave that alone, they should be fine. But yeah, I might not get green beans this season. So these are struggling. I should come out and water. There's still some moisture in the soil, but that one got broken off. They're trying. See that little leaf? But yeah, each one. Like, look at that. You see that? Just nibbled them right off. And, you know, that's okay. I'm not going to get too upset about it because I know the rabbits are hungry. You know, they need food too. But if they were smart, they would let them grow and then there'd be all kinds of stuff for them to nibble on. And then this scarlet runner bean, it's attached really nicely. I'd say that's up about maybe 3 feet now. So it's doing well. And then here's another gorgeous butterfly bush. It's opening up. I definitely need to get out here and do some fertilizing. If you see down at the bottom of the plant, there's a lot of yellowing leaves. Those were there last time, but that's telling me that it's deficient and it needs some fertilizer. So I need to get out here and do that. All right, let's move on here. So it's very exciting. I've got some dahlias that are gonna start opening up here. I need to get out here and stake them because as soon as those open up, they're pretty big. Those are about 6-inch blooms. And so it will topple the plant if I don't come and put some stakes out here. And I did not top these plants. You're supposed to top your dahlias, but it started to rain when they came up. And I didn't want to come out in the rain and do any work. Like, who really wants to do that? But, you know, this one's a beautiful purple one. I don't remember what color this one is. And then all that grassy looking stuff, that's crocosome. And it gets beautiful little orange flowers, and the hummingbirds just adore it. And I think the butterflies like it too, but well, I think just all pollinators do. And then I transplanted that little dahlia right there, and something trampled it. So it's not going to do too much this year. And then this dahlia is showing real signs of being sick. And it's something that's down in the soil. And I don't know exactly what, but it's trying to survive. The growing tip looks pretty healthy. It could use some water right now, but it's doing pretty good. And then I have another beautiful butterfly bush. And like before, the rhodies, they're not going to be doing too much. The pear tree. I see some, well, it's hard to see. There are some, not a pear tree, the plum tree. There are some green plums in there. I wish the squirrels would let them be. Let's see if I can find some. Yeah. No. Sorry, I'm not a good camera woman. See? The squirrels like to come and rip them down and take one bite out of them and then toss them on the ground. They're kind of jerks like that. And again, the rhodies, they're not going to be doing anything. Another gorgeous butterfly bush. And I transplanted this little rose just this last week. I got this for my birthday in September. Bo gave it to me. And I had it in the front window basket, but it doesn't get enough sunshine. So I brought it back here, and hopefully it'll fill in this area. You know, it's one of those like little tea roses that you get from the grocery store, but the blooms are bigger. So hopefully it'll grow a little bit taller. Okay. So let's come over here. So I put a couple of little flowers in here. A petunia and a geranium. And then some dicanthus, which I think is also called Sweet William. I moved those dahlias back this last week because I had them too close to the front. And then just different flowers that the tags all said for pollinators. A lot of things I've never grown before, and I've been gardening for 20-something years. This daisy is opening up. Look how pretty that is. And since they're perennials, they'll come back year after year. And supposedly the butterflies really love those. So I just did all this last week. Well, not all this, but added the daisies and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I put down some of the bark mulch just to help with the weeds. And these pots are starting to look really beautiful. Let me get over here. It's hard to walk on this ground, you guys. It's terrible. Someday it'll be taken out, but not anytime soon. So some lobelia, some canna lily, geranium, snapdragons. What else is in there? I can't think of what it's called right at the moment. I put a petunia in there. I had dahlias in those. Remember I said like, oh, if they live or die, it doesn't matter. They died in the 100-degree weather. So I decided to put a geranium in there and some lobelia, a petunia, some more dicanthus. That should be pretty once it fills out. Oh, salvia. That's what this is. This is salvia. And the bumblebees, hummingbirds, and butterfly love this stuff. And it grows really tall. It'll get like 3 feet tall. The canna lilies this year, they're not coming back so quick. And I think it's because we don't have a lot of sun. But they're beautiful. And they get really tall. They're about 4 feet tall with giant yellow tropical flowers. But I don't know, they're having a hard time. I usually don't transplant them or anything like that. And then let's see, we'll come over here. I'll try not to trip and fall on my face. I sprayed all the weeds and the cracks. Now this is going to be a big, beautiful pot. This is Tropicana canna lily, and it has this gorgeous foliage. Right now it's not looking so super beautiful, but it's early in the season here. And just more of the same. Geranium, lobelia, a petunia, a dicanthus. But look at that over there, you guys, look. The hydrangea are starting to open up. Oh, I just love them. And my fuchsia basket. It needs some fertilizer. It could be a lot prettier. I picked that up at Costco. Around Mother's Day, they're really cheap. But this year, they weren't very healthy. Oh, that baby crow. She's very upset. Coming over here just to show you how beautiful these pink blooms are. Look at that. So pretty. And as a tie-dyer, and many of you are tie-dyers, but look at that beautiful chartreuse color. And then they open up to this gorgeous pink. And then these are really fun. In the fall, they will turn burgundy, like a beautiful burgundy wine and chartreuse. They're just gorgeous. And these are called mop head hydrangea, where they get the gigantic blooms. And there's obviously some issues like too much water and too much sun. See, look, it got burned up in the sun one of those 100-degree days. They just can't handle it. And especially when we go from 65, 70 degrees and then the next day it's 99. They just can't handle it. So look at that. So pretty. All right, well, that is week 2 of the garden vlog. Oh, look, there goes Skippy the squirrel. He's the reason I can't grow corn or sunflowers. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And have fun gardening.